Art from non-traditional materials. For the second part of the assignment, we'll take a look at making art from non-traditional materials. I've always been a fan of the minimalist pieces of Sol LeWitt and the stacked forms of Jackie Ferrara. This example shows Sol LeWitt's work on the left and Jackie Ferrara's on the right. I've also been a fan of constructed wood pieces of Martin Puryear. But I primarily work on paper and don't have the space that I could work in this way. But it would be nice to create a piece that focuses on building and construction as its primary subject matter and content. So I decided to create a scale model out of carrots. The quality of carrots is similar to lumber. It has a grain and can be cut very similarly to wood. So I took the trunk of the carrots and started cutting it into boards. If for your material you are using sharp tools, be very careful and cut away from yourself. Once I had some stock of boards, I was ready to start. My original idea was to create a mortise and tenon style of construction. Here I'm using an X-Acto blade to cut out the mortise section. I also wanted to create slotted fits for some of the pieces. This material was more difficult than I had planned. The tenons kept falling off, and it was really difficult to make square holes. I tried boring holes to put pegs into. This wasn't working. I couldn't get a good fit. So I decided to use some pieces of metal to join the beams. Things were starting to take shape. My level of craft with this new material was not so good. This was definitely going to be more rough than something that Sol LeWitt or Jackie Ferrara built. I wanted my piece to be tall and fairly angular, to speak to the way it was built and how the pieces locked together. I was reacting as I worked, trying to create interesting negative shapes and scale relationships. As the piece got taller, I had to switch to using sewing pins as connectors. They functioned like nails holding difficult pieces together. In the finished piece, you could imagine this being a huge sculpture made of beams of wood. It is precarious and creates tension from this view. Successful for my intent, perhaps a bit rougher than what I had originally intended. Adapting to the materials you choose is part of the learning process for any new work.